The shelter was loud. Dogs barked non-stop. Metal doors clanged. The air reeked of bleach, piss, and something sour. Some animals paced, others scratched. A few just stared. Kiko moved slowly through the noise, the stink, the heat. Then she found silence. At the far end, in a cage that seemed forgotten, a fat cat sat curled against the back wall. Not asleep, not tense, just watching. Its fur was rough, the tail was long. No name tag, no info. Kiko crouched. The cat's eyes were pale green. When she asked the worker about it, they shrugged. "No one really keeps track of that one," they said. "Sometimes people take it. It always comes back." Kiko looked back at it. It had been years since she had a pet. She didn't know why she came here today, but when she saw the cat, something settled in her. The pen felt heavy as she signed. The worker handed her the carrier. That was it. The cat didn't resist being brought home. It didn't make a sound. At her apartment, it walked around like it owned the place. It never meowed, never purred. It didn't rub against her legs or beg for food. But it was always nearby, in the doorway, at the base of the stairs, watching her. Her parents were staying with her for the weekend, a surprise visit. She hadn't mentioned the cat, but they noticed it right away. Her mother avoided it, stepped around its body whenever it was in the way. Her father barely acknowledged it. He spoke like it wasn't in the room, but he never entered one if it was already there. They didn't say anything about it. That night, Kiko woke up with a weight on her chest. The cat sat directly on top of her, staring into her eyes. She didn't move, didn't speak. Eventually, it blinked, then jumped down and petted out of the room. She lay there, heart pounding, eyes open to the dark. She whispered a name into the air, Mochi. Without knowing why, it didn't turn back, but it paused in the doorway. Then it vanished into the hall. The hallway was silent that night. Her father woke with a jolt. A tightening in his chest had woken him up, like something had entered the room while he slept. He sat up slowly, heartbeat heavy. He slipped out of bed in the dark. The spare room they were staying in was stuffy, the air too still. He opened the door. The hallway stretched ahead of him, narrow, dim, lit only by the weak yellow glow of the nightlight plugged into the wall near the kitchen. And at the far end, a figure stood. Kiko. She faced away from him, frozen in the center of the hallway. Her shoulders were stiff. Her arms hung too straight at her sides. He stared, confused. He called out her name. No movement. He called it again. That was when she turned. It was her face, but something was off. The eyes were wrong. Pale and glassy, catching the light like an animal's. Too reflective, too wide. Her mouth curled upward slowly into a smile that didn't belong to her. It didn't reach her eyes. It didn't look like anything a person would make. She took a step forward. He staggered back instinctively. Her movements were too smooth, too clean. A memory surfaced. A towel. A bridge. Cold night air. Eyes staring up from the water before it swallowed them whole. He had forgotten. No, he had buried it, and now it was standing in front of him. She stopped a few feet away. Her expression didn't change. She didn't blink. She opened her mouth. Her voice was flat.
"You looked me in the eyes before you let go."
The hallway light flickered. A sharp pain bloomed in his chest. His knees buckled. He hit the floor hard. The air knocked from his lungs. His limbs twitched, reaching for something that wasn't there. His heart spasmed, like something had reached into him and twisted. She didn't move closer. She just watched. And as he lay gasping, the air between them thickened, dense, cold, heavy. It felt like water was pressing down on him and filling his lungs. Then all he saw was darkness. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. The hallway warped around him, edges blurring. Her face began to shift. The skin beneath her eyes darkened. Her pupils shrank to slits. Her smile split too wide. Behind her, two tails rose slowly, curling through the air like smoke. They moved together silently. His body froze. His back arched sharply. Then nothing. Just pressure. He choked silently, collapsed fully. His eyes frozen open, staring at the shape that wore his daughter's face. He didn't breathe again. The light popped and went out, and the thing that wore her face shrank back into the form of a cat, silent and still, padding into the dark as if nothing had ever happened. When Kiko woke up, she found her father slumped against the hallway wall. His mouth hung slightly open. His hands rested in his lap like he had fallen asleep sitting up. There were no wounds. The air around him smelled faintly of river water, wet earth and decay. Her mother screamed when she saw him. Then she stopped and sank to her knees, crying. Kiko knelt beside him, reached out but hesitated. His skin was pale, cool. His neck held at a strange angle. She touched his wrist. No pulse. Suddenly, he moved. His head turned toward her like something was guiding it manually. His eyes opened, green. Too green. Not his color. Not any color a human should have. Kiko staggered back. Behind her, the cat sat at the end of the hall, watching, silent. Its tail swayed once. Her father's mouth moved.
You should tell her the truth now.
The voice was flat. It wasn't quite her father's, just close enough to sound like the memory of him. Her mother gasped, shook her head. No. The voice spoke again.
Tell her what you did to Mochi.
Her mother's eyes brimmed with tears. Please.
Tell her.
Kiko stared. Her limbs felt frozen. Her mother turned to her, eyes wide, chest heaving. Then the words came, broken. We didn't want to keep it. You were too young to have a cat. It was strange. It didn't act right. It kept watching us. Watching you. She shook her head, like trying to shake free of the memory. So we wrapped it in a towel, drove it to the bridge outside town. It was night. You were asleep. We didn't want you to see. We dropped it in the river, watched it sink. She looked at Kiko like she was drowning now too. We told you it ran away. The hallway dimmed. The light flickered once. The cat stood. Then it rose onto its hind legs. Its posture was wrong. Shoulders hunched, limbs too long. Then it dropped to all fours again, walked slowly to Kiko's side. Its voice, low, smooth, and not quite real, slipped into her mind.
I sank. I waited. And I changed.
The air thickened. The smell of river water rose. Her father's body slumped sideways. Whatever was holding it up let go. Her mother covered her mouth, sobbing now. I'm sorry. Kiko didn't answer. She turned and walked away to her room. The cat stayed behind. She slammed the door shut, and the apartment was silent again. Kiko needed to breathe, to think, to sit with what she'd just heard. She thought about the lie and how easily they said the cat ran away. How long it had taken her to stop crying. How long it had taken her to stop waiting by the door. How she had blamed herself. How she had tried to move on and accept that the cat must have died, not knowing that her parents were the monsters. She didn't know how long she stayed in her room, but when she finally opened the door, they were gone. Her mother, her father, her cat. No blood, no bodies, no sound. And on the kitchen table, paw prints, pressed into the wood. On the windowsill, More like a goodbye.